Alright, hello, and as you can see I have a new Scarlet Hollow character photo for this run. I made a nice little avatar of, so I've mentioned this before, but Scarlet Hollow has a pick group, and an official one made by the team that made the game, and I made all my characters in it. So this is my character for this playthrough, which is once again a rerun of my Silent Max character because there were several updates to the Mystic skill line. And after this I'm going to rerun my good cousin build, and then, well, actually after this I'll probably play chapter 4 because it's coming out extremely soon. But, so I'm going, oh, hello, Johnny! So I'm gonna have 3 runs of, I've talked about this before, but like, so I've got the, I might do 4 runs so I can do all 7 skills, but for now I'm sticking with the 3 runs. So there's the one I just finished that is the rerun of the Thembo, and then this is the rerun of my character. So, Silent Max is a concept character who, he does not like talking very much, unless it is to animals. And also he feels obligated to share his mystic insights. So he has mystic and talk to animals, and basically if there is a talk to animals option, I'll go with that. If there is a mystic option, I will go with that, and if there is a talk to animals and mystic, I'll definitely go with that. But otherwise I will either choose remain silent or as close to that as I can get for almost everything else. With some exceptions for Avery, because I was enjoying doing the Avery romance pathline for this character, so. But for the most part, the part of the concept of this is that the character does not really talk very much. So. Sorry, let me just check something. Sorry, I'm looking at something on my OBS, and it's there, and I gotta just find it because there was something that just looked a little odd, and I just want to make sure I have everything set up correctly. I can see that my mic is working, so that's always nice. Yes, okay, everything's all good. Ignore that. Alright, so we are going to be starting a brand new game and going through all of Chapter 1 tonight. This is Max. He lives... oh gosh, where does he live? I don't remember where I had him live in the previous one. I don't know. Providence. That's a place that people can live, sure. Oh, I forgot to turn on my stream captions. Let me just do that real quick. Boop. Ooh, or I could be, nope. Portland, and which side of the country, which city of Portland? I leave it to the viewers to decide for themselves, sure. Alright, so Max is a guy, or at least uses he, him pronouns, and talks to animals, and is mystical. And I actually like that headcanon, like he likes talking to animals, and the reason that he says mystic things is because he feels obligated to share these insights with others. Alright, so let's go! You jolt awake as the bus hits a particularly nasty bump. You feel like you'd only just managed to start drifting off, and now here you are, awake again and still exhausted. For a moment, you're hazy on the details of where exactly here is, confusing this bus with the many others that came before it. But as your mind continues to reassert its existence in the waking world, the past few days come back into focus. The long-lost cousin, the bad news, the 26 hours of bus rides with countless late-night stops and CD depots that felt unsafe even in the middle of the day. You wouldn't normally find yourself traveling like this, but your cousin bought the tickets. The funeral of Pearl and Scarlet, your cousin's mother and your aunt, seemed like something you shouldn't ignore, even considering your own late mother's rocky relationship with this side of the family. Mystical. But it was also more than just the social pressure of the invitation that pushed you to accept it. The threads of fate had been tugging you back to this place your entire life. There was no choice to be made. It was simply destiny. So when your cousin called, you knew what had to be done. And now the end of your long journey is in sight. You're almost in Scarlet Hollow. Stranger. So anyway, as I was saying... Oh no, he's still here. He's been sitting next to you for the past 5 hours, talking at you without pause. You're not sure he even stopped when you started to doze off. At first you thought he was just being friendly, but that was several hours of one-sided conversation ago. Stranger. I was up in Maryland looking for work, but mostly messing around because I was a dumb teen. Me and my buddies were doing our usual prank stuff. You know, pushing joggers into the harbor, that sort of thing. Nope. Max does not usually talk at all, and is definitely not going to talk to this asshole. You do your best to keep a blank face, waking up and, by extension, accidentally giving this strange man permission to keep talking to you was a mistake. Stranger. So this girl comes up to us, swinging her purse, yelling about how she was gonna call the cops or whatever. It was hilarious. She actually hit my friend, and he said it hurt a lot, so I guess she really was mad and not just playing. But she kept swinging, and soon enough she lost her balance and fell into the harbor all on her own. We didn't even have to push her. We had a good laugh and fished her out, and her phone got soaked so she couldn't call the cops on us. We wound up hanging out all day. She kind of became my girlfriend after that, and we've been on and off for about a year, so it's pretty serious. Though about 5 months ago she tried to break up with me, like, for real. And geez, you ever just get so mad you just want to, like, kill somebody? Oh god. I want to say nothing, but smile is... You know what? I'll pretend it's a very tight-lipped smile. Of, like, the sort of, like... Oh no. Alright. You smile and pretend he didn't just say that. Stranger. I knew you'd get me. We understand each other. Somebody trying to break your heart. That changes a person. Makes them want to do things they never thought they'd want to do. I just promise you, poor Max is so uncomfortable right now. I mean, everybody's uncomfortable. Like, even Quinn, my Thembo character, is uncomfortable in this situation. And that's impressive, because Quinn likes people. And is generally very friendly. But this guy really is designed to sort of push the edges of that. Anyway, Stranger says, I honestly could have killed that woman! Ha! Anyway, she's giving birth to our son right now, so I'm trying to get up to Virginia to be there for it. But I don't know if I'm, like, into that stuff, so I might just wind up on a bus to New York or something instead. I've always wanted to go there. Remain silent. Yes, good. You sit awash in horror, but doing your best to keep a neutral face as this man admits he's thought about murdering the soon-to-be mother of his child, a child whose birth he is currently missing and considering ditching to go have fun in New York. Stranger. Anyway, where'd you say you were headed? Yeah, no. Okay, see, here is one of our exception points. Mystical things are things that Max feels called to say. So, mystical. Max. I've been called back to my ancestral home. My mother fled from her destiny there many years ago, but now that both she and her sister have departed from this world, I can feel it calling me back. The young man anxiously shifts in his seat. For one perceptible moment, it's his turn to feel uncomfortable, before he catches himself and heartily laughs. Stranger. Oh, you must be talking about Scarlet Hollow, right? Or the Holler, as they call it in the mountains. That's the only other stop until this bus turns around, so... Oops. If you're getting off anywhere, it's gonna... sorry. So if you aren't getting off at my stop, you must be headed up that way. Almost nobody ever goes there. I'm usually alone on the bus by now. Though, actually... Ah, no. I did that because I had accidentally clicked faster than I wanted to click, and then I did it again. Though, actually, I had a couple of buddies who went up there to work in the mine. There's a coal mine up in the holler, you see, and there's always a job listing or two on the boards around here. I've never wanted to do that kind of thing myself. I like my lungs the way they are, thanks. But my buddies got desperate enough to try it. I haven't heard from them in a while, now that I think about it. I should see if they're on Facebook. See how they're doing up there. Hope they didn't die! Ha! He looks back at his phone, for once focused on something other than you. Stranger. Oh, this is me. It was lovely meeting you. Hope you don't get too bored without me around to talk to. Here, I have something for you. The stranger rifles through his pack before presenting you with a dripping bag of peanuts. Stranger. They're boiled peanuts! I got them at a gas station a few buses back. I noticed you haven't eaten much, so I figured, you could use them more than me. Okay, I'm definitely having a problem of clicking too fast. Oh my gosh. Stranger. Plus, they dripped all over my bag, so I don't want to carry them anymore. I think eating the peanuts will fail. Yeah, I think Max is going to feel pressured into awkwardly taking the peanuts. You take the peanuts. Max. Thanks. Stranger. You're welcome. And with that, I leave you. Safe travels, friend. And just like that, the stranger is gone. Maybe you can finally get some sleep. Bus driver. Next stop, Scarlet Hollow. End of the line. Almost there. The bus finally comes to a stop, its brakes squealing as it deposits you in front of the Scarlet Hollow bus station. The sign at least reads bus station, but calling it that feels disingenuous. At best, it's a kiosk. Though, for a small town like this, you're amazed there's so much as a road, let alone a bus that drives on it every week. The driver quickly shuts the doors behind you and starts the engine, kicking up dust clouds as he pulls away, eager to leave you and this place behind. Mysterious person, but we know this is Tabitha because I've played this many times before, so I'm just going to call her Tabitha. Hey, Max. You instantly recognize the worn young woman from the few public photos on her Facebook page. She's your cousin, Tabitha, and she looks annoyed to be here. Offer her your boiled peanuts as a condolence. That's sure an option. You know what? I kind of want to do it. Because I don't think I have any other characters who would be likely to take the gross peanuts. No, that's too much talking. Never mind. Max doesn't talk that much. I didn't realize that was going to involve more than just holding it out. Explaining things. Alright. Loading from here. So Max is going to remain silent with what one can imagine is probably a bit of a deer in headlights look. You say nothing. Tabitha. Let's get back to the estate. I don't want to spend any more time down here than I have to. Your cousin turns and motions to an old BMW parked near the bus kiosk. You follow her, clambering into the dusty relic. It doesn't take much driving before the only signs of civilization are the car you're in and the road you're on. Tabitha maintains an icy silence as she focuses on the road. And I'm not reading the tips because, again, this is far from my first playthrough. And Max is not prone to talking, so once again, you decide to sit in silence with your cousin as the car eases up the steep mountain road. And here it is, the Scarlet Estate. Though it's seen better days, its crumbling elegance is not lost on you, someone used to cramped apartments in grey cities. Your mother told you about this place many times before she passed, always with an anger burning beneath her words. The faded majesty you once imagined doesn't quite compare with what's in front of you, a jarring blend of opulence and ruin. As you stare at it perched on the crumbling cliffside, you can't help but feel like it's something that should have been left to rot a long, long time ago. You're hit with a blast of dusty air as you step across the threshold and into the foyer. Everything in this room has been here for much longer than you've been alive, each object cemented in place with layers of dust and cobwebs. You can hear doors creak on their hinges, and the aches and moans of ancient floorboards as the house itself sways in the wind. Tabitha. Welcome to our family's humble estate. Unfortunately, due to the current state of the house, only a few rooms will be safely accessible during your stay. I wouldn't go wandering anywhere else if you value your limbs. The floors have been known to give out. If you know what's good for you, you'll stick to your room, your bathroom, and the kitchen. And hallways, I guess. But only the hallways you need to use to get to those places. I'll show you around so you'll know where it's safe to walk. You can leave your bags here for the time being. Remain silent. Tabitha. I see that you're in awe. You should be. This house was the prized jewel of this region for a long time. It's quite a magnificent piece of architecture, even now. So, shall we take our tour? Follow me. You put your bags down and follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. She delicately steps over holes and tears in the floor, and you do your best to trace her steps. Tabitha. Kitchen. On Wednesdays, a woman from town comes in and does the cleaning. Her name is Janie. I wouldn't recommend socializing with her. She'll talk your ear off. If you need any food, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly. Sorry, a bit cold turning up the space heater. Mystical. As Tabitha speaks, your eyes are drawn to the windows and the overgrown garden outside. You're suddenly overcome with dread and anxiety, as though this place is a small step away from being swallowed up and vanishing forever. That was cool. This is why I'm replaying this route, really, is because there have been changes and they've made a lot of edits to the Mystic path, and so I think it was mostly powerful build and also a fair bit to Mystic. And so that is the primary reason why I'm replaying this route, is to see the new changes. So. Johnny, there's fixings for peanut butter and jelly, so peanut butter and jelly, and I guess bread and knives? Yes, in fact, exactly that, Johnny. There's like a mini game where you go around the kitchen and find all the stuff to make your PB&J. Anyway, Tabitha. Don't touch my mac and cheese or my ice cream. Those are off limits. Oh, and you can also access the garden through here, but it's pretty wild, so I wouldn't if I were you. Yes, okay. There is a mystical option, and therefore Max feels compelled to speak it aloud. Max. I can feel the weight of the world pulling down on this place, as if the entire estate is a step away from crumbling to dust. Tabitha. Okay, geez, I get it. You think it's messy. I'll tell Janie to be more thorough this week. But you should know there's only so much anyone can do with a country house this old. It's always going to be a little grimy and worn, unlike your sleek city apartments. If a little dirt bothers you, you're going to have a rough time this week. Oh, fine. I hate that there's not a remain silent option, but alright, what's next seems like the least extra words. Max. Alright, what's next on the tour? Tabitha. Bathroom, follow me. Oh, I don't want to talk. Max. Great, it's been hours since I've gone. As the two of you leave the kitchen, you pass by a tuxedo cat sitting on the countertop. Approach the cat! Tabitha. Don't try to pet Frou-Frou. If she wants to be pet, she'll let you know. Ah, yes, the talk to animals route where I actually get to do voices. Rather, where I feel obligated to do accents. Frou-Frou. Ne me parle pas. Max. I'm sorry, little lady. Je ne parle pas français. Frou-Frou. Of course. How typically American. I shall debase myself by speaking your tongue, but only so that I might insult you directly to your face, you uncultured swine. Tabitha. Ha ha, very funny. Her name sounds French. Stop wasting my time and let's finish the tour. You once again follow Tabitha through a long, dusty hallway. Maybe after a few nights it'll get easier to navigate these spaces, but for the time being, you feel lucky to have not fallen through the floors. Tabitha. Guest bathroom. Not much to show. It's a bathroom. I'll wait outside. Do what you must, if you must. It is a wretched bathroom. Piles of junk sit untouched in the corners of the room, and mystery stains paint the floor. There is, in fact, one option that lets me not have to talk. Lift the toilet seat. And I love talked animals. You get to hear what the bugs that skitter away say. Bugs. Scram, fellas! The jig is up! Bugs skitter from the bowl as you lift the seat. A toilet is a toilet. Sure, it could be cleaner, but your business needs doing, and this is as good a place as any. You do what you must and rejoin your cousin out in the hall. Tabitha. Next up, guest bedroom. Last stop on the tour. Follow me. I guess the one thing that is really wild to me is why Janie wouldn't have cleaned the guest bathroom. Like, I get that Tabitha asks her not to do a lot of stuff around the house that is making it, like, that means that it piles up, like not touching the refrigerator and stuff, but, like, not cleaning the guest bathroom is a choice. You and Tabitha briefly return to the foyer before climbing the stairs and reaching the guest room. The room smells old. Dust, mildew, wood rot, it has it all. A week of sleeping in this place might give you permanent lung damage. Tabitha. This is where you'll be staying. The linens are fresh. I had Janie wash them last week. I had to endure a half-hour rant about her kid to get her to do it, so you'd better be grateful. Mystical. An unmistakable spiritual stench coats this room. People have died in here. Tabitha. The closet is full of old family stuff, so you can't hang your clothes up, but you can use the dresser. It should be empty. Oh, I see. Mystical. You're getting the impressions before you get the option to say them. Again, mystical compulsion. Max. I sense a heavy spiritual fog hanging over this room. People have died here, haven't they? Tabitha. When? This house is almost 150 years old. Obviously people have died here. You can't think of anything else you'd like to say, but if there's one thing for certain, it's that you're not the sort of person who likes to, or even knows how to, verbally end conversations. You remain silent and wait for Tabitha to say something. Tabitha. I take it you don't have any other questions? Good. Follow me. I'll take you back to the foyer so you can collect your belongings. This concludes our tour. I'm afraid I must return to my duties, so you'll have to entertain yourself for the rest of the day. Don't expect to see much of me. You decide to let Tabitha leave for work. Tabitha. Are we all set then? I'll see you tonight. Your cousin leaves through the front door. And now it's just you. You and this sprawling, decrepit estate. Let's settle into the room first. Now that your cousin is gone, the aches and pains of your journey sink into your bones. You stumble back up the stairs to your room, suitcase in tow, eager to unwind before you face the rest of the day. You stand at the entrance to your room. Let's put spare clothes in the dresser because I know what will happen when we do. You drag your suitcase over to the dresser and open the bottom drawer. An opossum lurks within. It is quiet but angry. Opossum. Afraid! Oh, I want to see what happens if I offer him the boiled peanuts. You hold out your still dripping bag of boiled peanuts. Dustin. Afraid! Death comes for Dustin! Oh my god! That was hilarious and I'm glad I tried it. Like, but that instantly ended my ability to converse with Dustin, so I am gonna undo it, but I'm glad I saw what happens if you attempt to give peanuts to Dustin. Death comes for Dustin. And then he plays possum so he doesn't have to eat your horrible peanuts. Alright. That said, we need to talk to Dustin because Dustin is the best. Max. Aw, what's your name, little guy? I'm Max. Dustin. Dustin! Max. What are you doing in my drawers? Dustin. Warm, dark. Max, can you tell me about the human who lives here? Dustin. Which human? Max. But Perlan died. Only one human lives here. Dustin. Dustin, not good with names. 2 human live here. Max. Okay, Dustin, can you tell me about the 2 humans who live here? Dustin. 1 human sad, 1 human scary. Max. Can you tell me about the sad human? Dustin. Cries, gives Dustin bad sleeps. Oh, hello, Tapao. It's a rerun of Silent Max, who is silent except for conversations with animal friends and a compulsion to share mystical insights. Oh, geez. Tapao, is everything okay? Oh, gosh, my connection is bad, so I realize I've been having some issues with my internet connection, so, like, sorry about that. But yeah, no, Tapao, are you okay? Is, your boy okay? Is everyone okay? Ooh. Is he okay? Or at least relatively? If this is, like, if there's a lot going on there, feel free to, like... Okay. So, nothing broken, but some minor tears on MCL. Okay. Brace, lots of ibuprofen, crutches. Oh, that's such a bummer. Sorry to hear it, and, like, please pass on my sympathy to him for a quick recovery. Alright, but thanks for hanging out and lurking, and I totally understand if you're only kind of here. Alright, now let's ask Dustin about the scary human. Max. Can you tell me about the scary human? Dustin. Always watches. Eyes hateful. Max. Never mind. Thanks for the help, Dustin. I know, right, Tapao? Yay, Dustin! Also, yes, being able to exchange tickets is clutch. I'm glad that you're still able to go see the Broadway show, or that you were able to easily exchange it. Anyway, Dustin. Kay! Oh my gosh, Tapao, you want to see what happens if you try to give Dustin peanuts? It's great. You hold out your still dripping bag of boiled peanuts. Dustin. Afraid! Death comes for Dustin! Okay, I felt the need to do that a second time, but obviously I still don't actually want to do that. I'm going to say Max likes animals enough to not want Dustin to suffer the horrible peanuts. Alright, anyway. Last thing to do is to fashion your clothes into a nest, because why would Max ever ask the cute opossum to leave? Max. You poor thing. You look cold in there. You gently lay your clothes on top of the creature, arranging them in a little nest. Dustin closes his mouth, somewhat more at ease than before, and looks up at you with his shiny black eyes. Dustin. Human is kind to Dustin. Dustin will remember this. You close the drawer, satisfied with yourself for a job well done. Alright, I do kind of feel like take a nap, you've earned it is warranted, but first we might as well check the closet and look out the window and all that. You can see why your cousin said you should put your clothes in the dresser instead of this closet. There must be decades of family history stacked up in here. Of course you're sharing a room with a creepy doll. You pick it up to examine it more closely. Its foot reads, "Property of Alexandra." No need to carry this around with you. Close the closet behind you. Oh, whoops. I have decided I'm going to do all the things, because Max's route is a great route to do all of the non-verbal things on, because no talkies, or minimal talkies. And also, I accidentally clicked the wrong thing. So, examine the painting on the wall. This must be an old relative of yours. Very old, judging by the dates on the inscription. You've never heard of her, but you've barely heard anything about your aunt and cousin until a week ago, so that's not really a surprise. Maybe you could ask Tabitha about this Mary Belle Scarlet the next time you see her. That is, if she's actually in the mood for conversation. Let's look out the window. You can only imagine how beautiful the garden must have been in its heyday. If you owned this place, you'd totally get out there with a shovel and some gardening gloves to whip it into shape. You'd go out and pull weeds, chop trees, carve topiaries, and do whatever you needed to do to return it to its former glory. And once it was all done, you'd sit by the fountain, which of course would have little goldfish in it, and drink a floral tea while enjoying the birdsong. Yeah, you'd definitely do that, just not right now. Take a nap! You've earned it. You immediately collapse onto the bed. You're tired enough that being alone in a strange new place won't stop you from passing out. Or so you thought. You cough as a small cloud of dust rises up from the mattress. These sheets might be fresh, but everything beneath them might have been around to see the dawn of civilization. Oh, hello, Pukura! Thank you for lurking! You try to settle in, but the bed is lumpy in strange places, and you can feel the springs pressing through the fabric. You might be tired, but you're far from tired enough to get in more than a few minutes of uncomfortable napping. It doesn't seem like there's much else for you to do here right now, so a PB&J sounds great. You haven't had anything to eat all day. The only things louder than your stomach right now are the creaks and moans of this ancient place. A PB&J sounds like exactly what you need to take on the rest of the day. You head to the kitchen. You're back in the kitchen, ready to craft a beautiful peanut butter and jelly sandwich. It's a daunting task given the state of the place, but the aggressive growls of your stomach outweigh your fear of food poisoning. To get started, you'll probably need to find some peanut butter, some jelly, bread, a plate, and a knife. And before you do any of that, clearly talk to the cat. Frou-Frou hisses as you draw near and remains firmly in place. Frou-Frou. You might want to talk to me, but I don't want to talk to you. Go away! Oh no, I have to know what happens if I offer Frou-Frou the boiled peanuts. She will definitely stop talking to me. So I should do that. I'm going to do it and undo it like I did with Dustin, but I must know. You extend your arm and offer Frou-Frou your bag of boiled peanuts as a token of peace. Max. I feel like we got off on the wrong foot. Want some boiled peanuts? Frou-Frou. Mon Dieu, non. Okay, you know what? Actually, I think Max will have been offering that in earnest because it seems to have actually not done nearly as much as it did to Dustin. Dustin just fakes. Dustin literally plays possum and stops talking to you. Frou-Frou just glares at you. I actually don't want to lose the chance to get multiple dialogue options that are not peanuts, though, so we're still going to undo it. No offers of boiled peanuts. No, I have to do the one before, right? Alright. I'm gonna ask about Tabitha. Max, what can you tell me about my cousin? This is the first time I've met her. Frou-Frou. Spare me your life story. Tabitha at least knows not to bother me. Max. Dustin says there's more than one person living in the house? Frou-frou. Ugh, you talked to that disgusting little rat? Who lives in this house is none of your concern. Alright then. Let's see. Next. Do you know what's in the sealed off part of the estate? Frou-frou. Nosy, aren't you? But of course I am not surprised. You seem to enjoy poking your head where it doesn't belong. If you won't take the hint, then I suppose I'll have to take things into my own hands. Frou-frou lunges at your hand and bites you hard. You back away. Alright, time for the peanut butter and jelly minigame. Search the fridge. As you approach the fridge, your eyes catch on a note taped to the door reading, Janie, stay out, in all caps. Below it, in separate handwriting, are the words, okie dokie. You open the fridge. You already feel a deep urge to wash your hands, even though you have yet to touch anything other than the handle. Yeah, I'm not even gonna look at anything. Like, Max is just not even gonna look at anything else in his. He's just gonna take jelly. You reach for one of the unopened jars of grape jelly, carefully checking its expiration date. You breathe a sigh of relief when you realize it's recent. This was either purchased specifically for you, or jelly is one of the few things in this kitchen Tabitha actually uses. All you need now is a plate, a knife, a bread, and some peanut butter. Better close this fridge and keep looking. And we're gonna do that because I think Max is happy to just take what he needs and not poke around. You return to the kitchen, closing the fridge behind you. Alright, pantry! Tabitha sure loves her mac and cheese. We're gonna just take that bread. You pick up one of the non-moldy loaves of bread. Great! One step closer to a satisfying snack. All you need now is a plate, a knife, and some peanut butter. Take the peanut butter. The king of nut butters, and only 3% of each jar is mashed up cockroaches. Ugh. The only things you need now are a plate and a knife. Close the pantry. You close the pantry door as best you can and turn back to the rest of the kitchen. Alright, one last thing to do is search the cabinets. This cabinet must be where Tabitha keeps the dishware, and, oddly enough, the utensils. Grab a plate and a butter knife. This is the last ingredient you need to make your PB&J. Time to get to work! Okay, maybe I'll look briefly at the mug and the shot glass. The mug reads, I was blown away at Blowing Rock, NC. So your aunt and cousin actually traveled sometimes, even if it was only a few hours from the estate. Maybe you can route your return trip through Blowing Rock. It might be nice to see the local sights before heading home. The shot glass reads, I survived Deb's 50th. Your aunt's name was Pearl Ann, so this wasn't from her 50th. From the few stories you'd heard from your mom, Pearl Ann wasn't the type to have kitschy friends who gave out themed shot glasses at their birthday parties. Of course, we know from other runs that that is absolutely Janie's. Oh, yes. I was about to say, why would a person ostensibly living alone have so much bread? I mean, yeah, best answer is, well, a lot of it has gone moldy and she just keeps buying new bread without doing anything about the old bread. You close the cabinet and look back to the rest of the kitchen. Make that PB&J! Despite the state of this horrendous kitchen, you have successfully combined your 3 ingredients to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Congratulations! You can feed yourself! A job well done. All of that hassle, and it took you less than a minute to eat. The rest of the day lies in front of you. Yeah, Tapao, 100% agree. I assume she buys bread, eats some, it goes bad, she gets more bread. Yeah. And, like, either she really, really doesn't let Janie do much of anything, or Janie is really actually quite bad at cleaning. Yeah, no, Johnny, I guess the character just chows down on that sandwich. Alright, let's check out the garden. This garden was reclaimed by the wilderness long ago. It might not be very safe, but who's to stop you from venturing deeper? You wander further into the garden. It's quiet out here. And there is nothing else of note, so we return to the kitchen. Alright. Congratulations. You've eaten and have a full day ahead of you. What do you want to do next? I don't think Max would be the type to explore the Forbidden Wings, so might as well head to town. There's not much left for you to do here other than head out and explore the town. You do just that. If you'd have known you'd wind up having to walk all the way back to town, you probably would have just asked Tabitha to leave you at the bus stop, especially with how unhappy she seemed to see you. If only you could wipe the slate between the two of you clean and bury some of that tension. Though, maybe her mother's funeral isn't the best time for something like that. Then again, maybe it's the perfect time. Continue down the path. It's really pretty out here. Continue down the path. Finally, you made it back to town. The holler, as that guy on the bus called it, has probably seen better days. It still has the feeling of an idyllic country town, but its sidewalks are cracked and many of the storefronts are boarded up, their windows dusty with age. A chill breeze sweeps down the lane and you shudder, suddenly feeling as if you're peering into a grave. Hello, Gretchen. Gretchen, come back! Stop bothering... Okay, whatever it is. I'll go check. Gretchen, come back! Quit bothering strangers. Gretchen. Why, I do declare, who is this stranger? And why does he smell of peanut butter? Stella. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. I get to offer Gretchen the boiled peanuts! I must know! I will once again undo this. This is just a curiosity. I don't actually want my animal friends to hate me. Max. Want some boiled peanuts, Gretchen? You whip out the bag and hold it in front of Gretchen. Oh my god, Stella's face. Gretchen. Why, yes, of course! I most certainly do! Stella. Oh, that's sweet of you, but those are probably way too salty for my little Gretch. Oh, I loved that. Okay, that was glorious. I should have... You know what? I'm gonna go back and do that just to get that visual, because that was, I think, a new visual. Doo-doo. Gretchen, yes, please! Give me the foods! Very good. Okay, but actually... Doo-doo-doo. I think it is actually very impolite to offer people random gross peanuts, and therefore I don't actually want to do that to a poor pup, even if Pup would have loved them. Alright, Stella. Sorry about that. Gretchen can be very slippery when she wants to be. She loves to get loose and cause havoc. Talk to animals. Max. It's nice to meet you, Gretchen. I'm Max. Gretchen. My, oh my, I can't remember the last time I met a newcomer who was so wonderfully polite. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Max. Stella. Ha! That's a funny way to introduce yourself. I'm Stella. It's not often I see a strange face up in the holler. Every now and then there's a new crop of coal folks, but you don't look dusty enough for that. You weren't in town for the funeral, are you? The Scarlet funeral? You remain silent. Stella. No need to be coy. I'd recognize those sunken eyes and rigid cheekbones anywhere. You must be Tabby's cousin, right? Upon mention of your cousin, Gretchen mutters under her breath. Gretchen. One of these days, I'll get that Tabitha to pet me. Stella. That's the only person I can think of who would come to town for the funeral. How's she holding up? To be honest, I've been a little worried about her. Max. She's in conflict with herself. Whoever I met today isn't the real Tabitha. Stella. I hope you mean that metaphorically. To tell you the truth, she's always been a little rough around the edges, but most people don't really catch on to that. It'll probably be good for her now that you're staying there, even if she doesn't think so herself. Remain silent. Gretchen. Oh, before it slips my mind, if you're staying up in that spooky old mansion, you must have met the Frou-Frou. How does that monster fare? Yeah, let's go with Max. It sounds like you and Frou-Frou have a history. Stella. Wait, what? Are you messing with me? You can't actually talk to my dog, right? You and Stella maintain silent, awkward eye contact. Gretchen. Well, next time you see that devil, please send my regards. And do let her know that not only do I still draw breath, but that I very much still plan to outlive her. Stella. Oh, if you just got to town, you must be starving. I was just on my way to the diner for coffee, and they've got amazing biscuits. My treat. The pleasant aroma of greasy breakfast food hangs heavy in the air. In contrast with the empty, lifeless atmosphere of the family estate, the diner is filled with the comforting din of human life. All of which grinds to a sudden halt as the patrons realize that a stranger has entered the establishment. Oh boy. I'm going to silently I think Max is socially awkward enough to not know what to do and just kind of silently stare back at everyone. You silently stare at the patrons, unsure of what to say, or perhaps unwilling to break the silence. Stella. Hey, this is Tabitha's cousin. He just got into town for the funeral. I'm showing him around. Stella moves to the nearest booth, and you quickly follow. Stella. There's no need to be nervous, you know? They won't bite. Avery. Hey, Stella, I went ahead and fixed you up a coffee. I kind of want to do a voice for Avery, but I haven't really, some characters I just don't have, an accent. If characters don't have an accent, a lot of times I just do a higher or lower voice. So, Stella has a slightly higher voice. Tabitha, I usually try to do her voice just as very impatient sound, kind of blunt and, mildly impatient sounding. But I don't really have a good vibe, and so, Stella is, sort of a little bit higher pitched and perkier. Kanika's sort of in between, and then I just don't have a good separate voice for Avery, so is what it is. I'll just read Avery normally. They gracefully place a cup of specially brewed coffee in front of Stella. Stella. Aw, shucks. Thanks, Avery. Avery. And here's some bacon for the little lady. Gretchen. For me? For me? Gretchen sniffs the bacon and digs in. Tip. Oh gosh, I have a controller plugged in, so it thinks I'm playing with a controller. That's funny. I am not. But I already know which button it takes to actually hide the screen. Avery. Anything for you? Alright, order a biscuit and a coffee. Max. Could I have a biscuit and coffee, please? I heard they were really good. I am also trying to read Max. When Max actually does talk, I'm trying to read his voice a little stiltedly as somebody who can talk but doesn't love doing so. Isn't especially talkative, and so verbalizes slightly awkwardly. That's at least what I'm going for, is my vibe from reading Max. Avery. Best in the country. Avery pours the fragrant brew into the empty mug in front of you. They linger after pouring your coffee, turning to you nervously. Avery. Oh, and I'm, sorry for your loss. Before you have the chance to respond, they're gone. Stella. Glad you took my advice with the biscuit. You won't regret it. Anyway, the funeral's not till Sunday, right? That gives you quite a bit of time to slum around town. I'm trying to think if there are any cool events going on this week. There's always the reading adventure at the library, which is supposed to be for little kids, but I do it every month anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure Avery's throwing a party Saturday night, so that's a fun thing to look forward to. And there's the weekly Sunday potluck. That should be right after the funeral, too, so it'll be a special occasion. Remain silent. You continue to listen in silence. Stella. Anyway, those are all the big events I can think of. As for the day-to-day, any idea how you want to kill time for the rest of the week? Max goes, oh no, I have been directly addressed and in a way that I must respond to. What is the shortest amount of words I can say? The answer here is Max. Honestly, I have no clue. Stella. Well, you're in luck, as you've happened to run into the person who knows all the best stuff to do around here and has limitless time to show you around. My boss is pretty forgiving. Oh, wait, you probably wouldn't get that joke since we don't know each other that well. I'm self-employed, so I'm my own boss, so I'm forgiving myself. Get it? Give a wooden laugh. That sounds about right. Max. Ha, 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 funny. Stella. Everyone's a critic. Yeah, I think the way that that is intended to be read is like, ha ha ha, funny. But I'm imagining no actually bad. But you know what? I have the power of reading aloud on my side, so I can read everything in the exact tone. Oh no. Oh no. Sorry, I paused because I looked and I'm like, I definitely, oof, my internet definitely just went out, so let's, that might have killed my, alright, I think I'm back? Oof. Alright, sorry about that. I've been having some internet issues and I have purchased some supplies to address the issue, but, in the meanwhile, I reset my adapter again, and hopefully that'll do me. Ugh. So, hopefully, unfortunately I will not be getting the thing to hopefully fix things until Wednesday, so I'm gonna have some problems. So it is highly plausible I will have problems with my Monday Cinderella Phenomenon stream as well, but hopefully, for now, we're back up and running and everything good, and actually I'm seeing the little, thingy. You know what? My internet has come back more powerful than ever. Because I was definitely having... I probably should have reset it before I started streaming, because it did seem like it was... the speed was a little low, but... And now, it looks like we're solid green! Fingers crossed. Hopefully I'm still actually streaming. Okay, we're back! Yay! Thank you for confirming, Johnny. I think I noticed fairly quickly, or at least I had paused to say something, and then looked over and saw that you are no longer connected to chat, or rather, like, trying to connect to chat in my chat box, and I was like, oh no. And then shortly after, my camera went away, because Zoom does not work if you are not online. So, yeah, basically I've been having some spotty internet issues, and it just sometimes it's just crashing for no reason. My entire adapter, and it's like my Wi-Fi card was doing this, and now also I had a separate USB hub Wi-Fi thing that is not very powerful, and it has also been causing that problem. So I don't know, I feel like maybe the problem is actually my computer, but whatever, I'm getting a LAN cord so I can plug directly into the Wi-Fi router and not have to worry about it anymore. Alright. Anyway. I'm pretty sure I caught it pretty right away, so I don't think anything is lost, so I think I can just continue from where I left off there. So, before Stella can finish, Avery returns, biscuit in tow. Gretchen. Is there nothing else coming for me? Gosh, if I'd known that plate of bacon would be my main and only course, I would have waited before digging in. Avery. Here's your biscuit. Winnie says it's on the house. She sends her condolences. Chow down. I love that chow down on the biscuit is an option, so that it's like, it's not don't say anything. It's just immediately start eating biscuit. Mystical. You pick up the biscuit. It's delicate and fluffy. It nearly crumbles at your touch. Buttery warmth emanates from its surface. You don't even need to taste it to know that it is good. Divinity given buttery form. I really look forward to finding out more about why Winnie's biscuits are literally divinity. You take a bite. It melts in your mouth as if it was nothing but butter suspended in a thin matrix of dough. Truly, this is a perfect biscuit. Max. This is clearly a good enough biscuit for Max to verbalize. Max. Whoa, this is a really good biscuit. Wow. Stella. I'm so glad you like it. Avery lingers at the table for a moment. Avery. So, has Stella mentioned she's famous? Stella. Ha! Oh, Avery, I'm not famous. Avery. Look, if you're not gonna go around tooting your own horn, you know I'm gonna do it for you. Stella sighs. Stella. I'm a YouTuber. Remain silent. Avery. Stella's videos are really good. You should watch them sometime. Stella's videos are really good. You should watch them sometime, Max. She hunts cryptids. It's like the Discovery Channel, but with better research. I'm gonna just let it go. Yeah, let it go that he knew that... Let it go that they knew my name. Or that, yes, Max is going to let it go that Avery knew his name. You choose to ignore Avery mentioning your name before you'd been introduced. It's a small town. Word probably gets around. Avery. I think the best video to start with would be that river one. Not the lake, but, you know, the controversial one? Stella. Oh yeah, the Catawba River Runner. I didn't expect much out of that footage at the time, but it wound up being my most popular video by far. So, the River Runner is a cryptid that's only known from a single sighting. 2 Boy Scouts thought they saw something big and weird in the Catawba River, and that's all I had to go on. But then I wound up catching this on camera. Stella pulls out her phone and shows you a clip of something in a river. Stella. Some folks said it was a beaver, but if that was the case, it'd be at least twice the size of any beaver I've seen. I also had people saying it was a dog, or even a capybara that must have escaped from a local wildlife sanctuary. Gretchen. It was a mountain lion. I could smell its stink from miles away. Stella. I'm still not sure what it was, and I'm the one who saw the thing with my own 2 eyes. Talk to animals is an option, and Max wishes for Gretchen's voice to be heard. You decide to share Gretchen's insight with Stella and Avery. Max. Gretchen seems to think it's a mountain lion. Stella. Ha ha, very funny. You might have gotten me earlier, but I'm onto you. You're not gonna trick me into thinking you can talk to my dog. As for your theory, no way. It is absolutely not a mountain lion. There are no mountain lions this far east. I did a whole video on the Appalachian mountain lion myth and found Jack squat, and there's no reason one would be swimming in a river like this. They're not fans of water. And the body is way too long. No way. Avery. Personally, I'm a fan of the capybara theory. Sure, it's not like any local sanctuaries were missing one, but there's always people keeping exotic animals as pets. Kind of a sewer gator type situation. Stella. Ha, exactly. Some exotic pet owner set it free, and now it will forever roam the Catawba, confusing Boy Scouts and YouTube commenters for years to come. So, speaking of things to do around town, I was actually planning on filming this week's video tonight. I was wondering if maybe you'd want to come along? It's a pretty easy one this week. We wouldn't even have to camp anywhere. I'm gonna go after the... Avery. Wait! No spoilers! Stella. Whoops! Sorry, Avery. Avery. It's okay. I should probably get back to it instead of standing around chatting with friends. See y'all around. Stella. Now that the coast is clear, I'm going after Skunk Ape. You remain silent. Stella. It's like Bigfoot, but smellier. Most skunk ape sightings are from Florida, but while I was doing research for last week's video, I came across a report where a lady from a town over claimed to have seen one on her deck, playing tug-of-war with her dog. And as I leave no stone unturned, I decided it was worth investigating. So what do you say? Want to tag along? Hold the camera for me while I narrate against a darkening sky, that sort of thing? Hehehe, there is a talk to animals option. Max. That depends. Are you gonna be there, Gretchen? Gretchen. Oh, naturally. I wouldn't want any misfortune to befall my beloved Stella. I must stay by her side through thick and thin, however odd her passions may be. Stella. Of course. It's actually been a while since I've had anyone but Gretchen out there with me. Max. Say no more. I'm in. Stella. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I actually started the channel with a couple buddies of mine back in middle school, so it'll be kind of like a blast from the past. Me and Kanika and Reese, running around in the woods, flipping over rocks and bothering salamanders. Our videos were terrible, but we had a lot of fun, and that's all that mattered to us. You know, that gets me thinking. I wonder if they'd be down to come along with us. Get the old gang back together. Though, I guess Kanika has to close out the general store tonight, so I'm pretty sure she's a no-go. But Reese, I think there's a decent chance we could get him to come out of his hidey hole if he's up for it. Do you mind if I make a quick call? Stella pulls out her phone and dials it, waiting while it rings. Stella. Reese! Dude, what's up? Feels like it's been forever. Man? I'm sorry to hear that. Do you want me to come by, or... Okay, if you're really sure. But if you change your mind... Oh, I was just calling to ask if you wanted to come out to the woods tonight. I met somebody cool in town today. He's Tabitha's cousin. I know! Yeah, just here for the week. Anyway, we're gonna go out and look for skunk ape. We could take the easier trails, if that would help. Dang, man. That sounds awful. I hope you take it easy tonight. I'll swing by sometime this week, and we can have a more low-key hang. How's that? Yeah, I'll bring him. Talk to you soon. Bye, bud. Gretchen. Reese, there's always been something off about that boy. I never did like the smell of him. It is interesting that Gretchen has always perceived something odd about Reese. Because one of my theories was like sort of a necromancy deal where like his mother might have made a deal with a demon to save his life or bring him back from death or something. But if he's always felt off to Gretchen, like it does make it seem more likely that maybe that's not quite what's going on, that it's something that has been true of him his whole life. But you know what? There is much to find out. There is a lot we don't know yet about whatever's going on with Reese. Anyway, Stella. Looks like it's just you and me, pal. I don't want to say good. That feels mean. I'm gonna... Is he okay? Feels like the shortest thing that doesn't feel mean. Max. Is he okay? Stella. He's not feeling well, that's all. He's had a lot going on in the past, gosh, 10 years or so, but I feel like it's gotten a lot worse recently. I can't remember the last time I saw him leave his house. Oh well, it's not my place to talk about, really. I just got a little excited thinking about having him along again. He's hilarious. You'd love him. We should swing by his place sometime this week. Max. We'll see. I don't know how much I should commit to doing this week. Stella. That's fair, but if you find you have the time, he'd love to meet you, and I think you'd get along. But we can talk about making friendship plans later. For now, we've got a skunk ape to hunt. So, we should probably head out if we want to make it up the mountain before it's too dark. Come on, let's blow this popsicle stand. You pause before getting up. Maybe it's time to make a good first impression. Leave a generous tip. You reach into your pocket and pull out a crumpled $5 bill. You know it's a bit more than one would expect to get from such a short dining experience, but you might as well share the wealth while you've got it. You smooth out the bill before placing it on the table inconspicuously. Stella. Oh, that's awesome of you. Avery will appreciate that, I'm sure. Stella turns to leave the diner with you following closely behind. Slowly transitioning towards actual spooky times. It hadn't been very cold when you first arrived in town, but as the sun dips closer and closer to the horizon, a chill descends upon the hollow, and you see your situation with renewed clarity. You're in a new place, far from civilization and the people you know, following someone you just met into a dark forest in search of monsters. You feel mystical. You feel an overwhelming sense of foreboding, which seems only natural considering where you are. Your instinct screams at you to leave, but at the same time, you're curious to see what the night has in store for you. You decide to go with the flow, to keep putting one foot in front of the other, and to not dwell too much on this strange feeling. Yeah, it's not that Max doesn't trust his mystic instincts, for sure. I think, if anything, I could justify this as tying into why he feels compelled to speak his mystical insights aloud. He's like, well, there's something going on in these woods. I feel like I should be a witness to it, whatever it is. Like, so he feels a sense of mystic obligation as well as foreboding. Stella. Gotta love this brisk fall weather. This past summer was the hottest on record, since last year at least. You know how it is these days. Each summer is the hottest yet, until next summer, which always finds a way to be so much worse. It's just nice to feel a chill in the air and see the leaves change. Like normalcy is restored, if only for a moment. Sorry if that was a bit of a bummer. We should talk about something more fun, like skunk apes. Max. Let's move on. Stella. Did you hear that? Alright, and here is Duke. Oh, calm down, Gretchen, you old mutt. Gretchen. Oh, Duke, you rascal. Duke. Same to you, Stella. You're always jumping at nothing, girl. Stella. Phew. Sorry for getting spooked, Duke. I thought you were... Duke. Some creature of darkness? Nah, girlie. Just old Duke. Now what the hell are you looking for way out here? Stella. Skunk ape. Duke. Sorry I asked. And who's this you've suckered into coming with you? Wait a tick. You aren't. Is that... Stella. Yep. Duke. I see. Welcome to the holler. My condolences. I'll keep you in my prayers. Another stranger, another opportunity for a salty introduction. Nope, nope. Max has become the keeper of the peanuts. He can't throw them out, he can't, I mean, he should throw them into trash at some point, but there's not really anywhere that has a normal trash. He probably feels too guilty to throw them in Tabitha's trash, and, like, he doesn't, like, it's rude to just offer peanuts to any random person you meet. Dustin reacted very poorly to the peanuts, so Max has simply become the keeper of the peanuts so that they shall not inconvenience anyone else more than they are inconveniencing him. You once again remember the dripping bag of boiled peanuts you have on your person, and briefly consider offering them to Duke before realizing it would probably be more of an insult than anything else. You keep them hidden away. Duke. Now, both of y'all head on back to town, you hear? It's best you steer well clear of this area tonight. I'm out dealing with my own critter and won't be too appreciative if a couple fools with a camera scare away the more sensitive wildlife. Stella. What are you hunting tonight? Something tall and hairy? Something musky? You see anything like that recently? Duke. Wouldn't you like to know? You never could stay in your business, Stella Richmond. Put that damn camera down. Stella. Aw, come on, Duke. Maybe I could help out. I'm pretty good at tracking. You know I learned from the best. Duke. That you did, but I have yet to see a shred of proof that you listened to any of it, the way you tromp around the woods at night yelling about chunkabungas or what have you. Something's been getting at my chickens. I've lost 3 this week, and I can't afford to lose many more than that. Stella. I'm so sorry to hear that. But, I wonder if Skunk Ape has a taste for chicken. Duke. Now see, this is why I don't come to you about these things. It ain't no Skunk Ape, whatever the hell that is. I know exactly what this is, but I know you won't believe me if I tell you. Stella. Oh, Duke, you don't think it's... Duke. I do, actually. It's those damn mountain lions. They're out there, Stella. I don't care what your little investigation turned up. You haven't been out in these woods as long as I have. Those sons of bitches are sneaky. Of course you wouldn't find any in one night of tracking. And I know for a fact that's what's been getting at my chickens. It couldn't be anything else. Stella. I'm telling you, man, mountain lions are extinct in these parts. There hasn't been an actual sighting since the 1990s. And even those were iffy. Gretchen. It's true. There are mountain lions out here, sure sin. They pee on all the best trees. Duke. I can't believe you go out there on your YouTubes saying some river monster spotted by a couple school-aged Boy Scouts has been 100% confirmed, yet Appalachian cougars are some kind of far-fetched fantasy made up by geezers like me. You made me look like a fool. I read those comments people were posting on your video. They were calling me all kinds of names just for seeing things with my own eyes that I know to be true. Stella. I'm sorry, Duke. I didn't mean to sick anybody on you. I just don't think it's plausible. Duke. You'll eat those words when I come carrying a mountain lion corpse out of those woods at dawn. And if you two don't want a face full of buckshot, I suggest you run home and stay out of the woods tonight. Mystical. As Duke's words leave his mouth, a sinking feeling starts to pull at your stomach, as if the 4 of you were inexorably creeping towards something terrible. Mystical. Max. I don't think this ends well for you. Duke. How would you know? I go hunting in these woods all the time. Night, day, opossums, bears, it don't make no difference. Even a mountain lion wouldn't stand a chance against the ingenuity of man here. Stella. Unless it's not a mountain lion. Duke. Oh, don't you get started again. If your daddy could hear you now, going on about ghouls and goblins, using what he taught you to run around these woods like some kind of paranormal investigator. Do you want that to be his legacy, girl? And besides, you know my boy Bo and me are headed down to the state fair to show off Big Betty this week. We'll be gone days, and the chicken coop might as well have a big all-you-can-eat sign on it if I don't nip this in the bud tonight. You know how I feel about my chickens. I couldn't take it if I lost any more of my poor little ladies. Stella. And you know I have to put out a video by tomorrow evening. Mystical. As Duke and Stella dig their feet in, the sinking feeling in your gut gains form and clarity. Somebody here is going to die tonight. Stella. If I miss an update, I might lose my new sponsor, and who knows what that'll mean for my career. Max. One of us here is going to die tonight. I can feel it. Duke. Now what's that supposed to mean? Are you trying to threaten me? I like how one of the options is yes. But no, he's really not. Max. I don't know. It's just a feeling. A weird, bad feeling. Stella. Whoa, are you psychic or something? I like that all of these are 8-ball responses. But you know what? Max is pretty open about the talk to animals thing, and he's also pretty open about saying every mystical thing that comes to his head, so there's no reason he wouldn't just... Max. Signs point to yes. Stella. Whoa! What am I thinking right now? Duke. Ah, hush, you ain't psychic. You're just trying to unsettle me so I let y'all go off in the woods to film your little video. Stella. Max, I think you freaked Duke out enough for one evening. Maybe we should leave the poor man to his wild goose chase. Duke. I am not freaked out by your friend's theatrics, but if it gets you out of my hair, sure, I'm greatly disturbed. Now run along home and stay out of trouble. As you and Stella return to the trail, she carefully looks back the way you came. Stella. Okay, the coast is clear. There's no way we're letting Duke edge us out that easy. Come on, I know a trail that'll let us get around him. Silently follow. Yeah, at this point, Max is just resigned. He's like, someone here is going to die tonight, and there is nothing I can do to stop it. I am obligated to be here to witness. Stella. The trail's just up this way. Let's go. Alright, this looks like a good shot. Mind holding the camera? She hands you the camera and takes position. Stella. Ahem. As night falls, my new assistant, the mysterious Max, and I find ourselves on a high hill in the Blue Ridge Mountains, where we'll begin our hunt for the elusive yet pungent skunk ape. Though mostly encountered in Florida, this possible relative of Bigfoot has been spotted all along the southeastern edge of the United States, including right in this very county. Here's hoping we get a glimpse tonight. We'll check back once we're on the trail. Until then, stay searching, Stellars. Gretchen. And keep digging, Gretches. Stella. I can take that camera off your hands for now. We'll be able to start the tracking scenes once the sun sets all the way. In the meantime, we get to take in all this beautiful scenery. It's gorgeous out here, don't you think? Mystical. Though you and Stella are back on your own, the unsettling feeling that settled in your gut earlier still remains. There's something wrong in these woods, though what it is still eludes you. Max. There's something wrong in the air. It feels oppressive, dark. Stella. You don't happen to mean stinky, do you? Do you think you're smelling the skunk ape? He tried. Our boy tried. Max is not the sort to try and clarify himself. Max is the sort to just sort of, nope, I tried. Stella. You don't have to be so shy, you know? I wouldn't worry too much if I were you. My gut usually warns me if I'm going to run into trouble, and I feel A-okay. Oh, Stella. Your gut is not mystical enough. Your quiet moment with Stella is broken by a loud, percussive snort. Stella. Did you hear that? That's the sound deer make when they want to warn the rest of their herd about big, scary predators, like us. Let's check it out. Okay, and now we're actually going to start getting into, here is where the content, I'm pretty sure everyone who's here has already seen this, but in case anyone's watching this later and hasn't watched any of my other Scarlet and Hollow streams or played themselves, here is where the content warnings start. And the really notable content warnings for this game are, animal injury and death, which I guess has already been discussed, but like, animal injury, death, and like freaky tumors. And also, there's going to be a fairly gory human death later on, because I know which I'm choosing. Okay, so basically, there's a point where you have to choose, and yes, someone does die if you don't have powerful build. I kind of want to try Mystic and Powerful build to see if you still get the sense that someone's going to die. Like, I want to see what that looks like. I won't do it on stream, but I might do that myself later tonight, just because I want to see how that looks different, if that looks different. Because if you have powerful builds, you can save everyone. But since I don't have powerful builds, I will be saving either Duke or Gretchen. Spoilers, sorry. And I already know that since I have a Talk to Animals skill, it's Gretchen I'm going to be saving. And having done this once before, there is a very brief, gruesome scene of Duke's death. I'll warn it again when we get there, but, like, I wanted to just kind of throw the content warnings out ahead of time before we get into content warning zone. Because up to this point, there's really not much in the way of major content that makes this a horror, like, creepy content that makes this a horror game. Mostly comes up in the later parts of chapters. As you and Stella hear the footfalls of animals retreating into the woods, she reaches for her flashlight. A single deer remains behind, staring down the beam of light while Gretchen whines and pulls at her harness. Deer. Pain, rot, decay. Gretchen. A deer! Let me at him! How dare he infringe upon my dearest Stella's personal space! Let me at him! And then it's gone. Yeah, I feel like my Southern Belle accent for Gretchen is not holding up as well as I'd like, but I'm doing my best. Stella. Geez, Gretchen, calm down. You're gonna hurt yourself. Gretchen. Oh my, it seems I was consumed by a blinding rage. How very unladylike. What must you think of me? Stella. She cannot handle deer. When she gets like this, I usually have to pick her up and hold her. She has a bad habit of slipping her harness when she wants to go after something. You're too much of a potato, and they don't make harnesses to fit potatoes, do they? Max. I think that deer was threatening us, or warning us. Stella. I think it was just sick. That thing on its face, I bet it was an abscess, maybe a tumor. It's not like wild animals can get those taken care of, so they just get bigger and bigger. Poor thing. But there's not much we can do about it. You remain silent. Stella. Hey, are you hungry? Now seems like a great time to take a snack break. As you settle down to rest, Stella breaks open a bag of assorted snacks. I'm gonna go for the sesame sticks, because why not? You grab a handful of sesame sticks. Stella. Ah, the one snack I didn't make myself. I was hoping to wow you with my cooking skills, but I guess that'll have to wait for some other time. Nevertheless, a delightful, tasty choice. The chips of the hiking trail. I just picked something at random. I wasn't trying to pick the only one she hadn't made herself. Stella. Some would say chips are the chips of the hiking trail, but only a fool would bring such a delicate, space-consuming snack in their pack, when that space could fit another bottle of water or more snacks. You and Stella settle down on an overlook, snacks in hand, as the quiet sounds of evening wildlife wash over you. Gretchen gnaws at a stick, distracted for the time being. Oh, right, and also, I'm gonna just take a moment to turn off my little Max avatar so I can show something. Wait, where is it? Let's not turn off the whole game. There are eyes staring at us from the woods. It's very creepy. You and Stella settle down on an I already read that. Gretchen gnaws a stick, distracted for the time being. Stella. So, tell me what it's like in Portland. Do you have a house? An apartment? Do you live with family? Roommates? Pets? Tell me what it's like to be Max. I think Max, it just feels... It feels rude to just say nothing here. And, like, my logic behind why Max is so quiet is because he's a little socially awkward and shy. And therefore, saying something here feels like a slightly better option than shrugging and saying nothing. So, to be polite. However, I know how most of these go, and so if I'm gonna have Max make an effort and actually say something aloud, it's gonna be this one. Max. I live in an apartment with a difficult roommate. I didn't find this guy. An old roommate of mine had him move in, and then they just left and just stuck me with him. He's not the worst roommate I've ever had, so I can't complain too much. The biggest issue is his complete lack of respect for any boundaries. He sleeps on the couch in the common area most nights, always unclothed. He steals bites of my food, which he thinks he's being really sneaky about, but there's nothing sneaky about taking a huge bite out of a freshly made sandwich when there are only 2 of us living there, even if I'm in the other room when it happens. And he infringes on my privacy all the time too. If I close the door to my room, he'll just start screaming and sometimes even attack the door until I open it, then just walk away. It's like he has a complex about closed doors. Which, of course, also means he doesn't close the door when he's doing his business. Almost like he wants me to watch him. And at least once a week he somehow misses and leaves these big pee puddles, which I always wind up stepping in. It's gotten to the point that I think he's causing lasting damage to the house, and no matter what I say or do, it just doesn't get through to him. Anyway, sorry for the rant, but I could go on for hours about this guy. I mean, he's a cat, yeah, but he's a particularly horrible cat. And it's not like I can just give him away or anything. That would be cruel. Alright, you know what? This kind of works with my other headcanon, which is that sometimes Max will just... Like, it feels like a lot of words for Max to say, but I think he goes silent, awkward single sentences, or sudden huge dump of information. Yes, Johnny, it was your first time seeing that. I know, right? The first time I went through that, the first time I chose that, I had no idea. And I was like, oh my god, until like near the very, very, very end. I actually am not sure the first time I saw it if I even recognized that the answer was cat until it was said out loud. Stella. Wait, he's a cat? Like the animal? Max. Yeah, his name is Truck. I'm terrified I won't get my security deposit back because of what he's done to the place. Oh, and the other thing I wanted to say is, it makes sense that Max would have lots of complaining to do about an annoying cat roommate because, like, since he can talk to animals, a cat roommate that was suddenly thrust upon him is actually kind of a slightly different experience than it would be for someone who can't talk to cats. Stella. So, what do you do for a living? Fair enough, Johnny. Also, your description of Max's conversational build is very similar to the Silent Bob playbook. You're right! You're right! It's be silent, maybe say a word or two, or like, well, okay, with Silent Bob, it's like he either drops wisdom or drops, like, a long sentence. Johnny went. Quote from, yeah, the sign on the back of the car said Critters of Hollywood. Yes. But yeah, no, you're not wrong. Silent Max, but like with that's where I got the Silent Max thing from, obviously, is Silent Bob, but like I do not picture Silent Max to actually be a Silent Bob type because it works very similar to Silent Bob, but not for the same reasons, right? Like, Silent Bob is not quiet because he is socially awkward, necessarily, or shy. Maybe he is a little bit, but, like, for the most part, he just chooses not to say things out loud. Is always the vibe I've gotten from the Silent Bob character. But yeah. Whereas, to be fair, Max is also choosing not to say things out loud, mostly, but... Yeah, no, anyway, I have a whole headcanon for most of my characters. Like, we talked a lot about Quinn's Thembo energy and stuff, and so Max I have been building headcanons as I go. And this is my second run-through of this character, so... Anyway, Max got all of his talking out of the way. That was a very long spiel about his annoying cat roommate, and I just don't think he has it in him to say more. So... You silently decline to answer. Stella. A stranger of great mystery, I see. That's fair enough. Not everybody's identity needs to be tied into how they make money. A crisp breeze passes over you. Sit in silence. You already know all about Stella's YouTube career, and you don't feel the need to press her for any more details about her life. Stella. Whoa. Gretchen. My stars, what was that? Mystical. That sound wasn't meant for human ears. Whatever lurks behind the tree line is something best left unseen. but the events of this evening were already set in motion long before you stepped foot in Scarlet Hollow. There is no turning back now. Stella immediately packs her bag and slings it over her shoulder. Max. There's something terrible out there, Stella. Stella. Whatever it is, it's close. Here, hold Gretchen's leash for me and let's check this out. You and Stella inch towards the tree line as she shines her flashlight into the woods. Gretchen. Do stay close, Max. Oh my gosh, sorry, that one I totally lost the accent for a second there. Let me try again. Do stay close, Max. I wouldn't want any harm to befall you. Talk to animals. As you approach, a series of weak clucks calls out from a nearby bush. Chicken. Pain! It's all pain! Stella. Maybe Duke's birds weren't eaten after all. Stella. What the hell was that? Hold on, I gotta play that back. Holy shit! I'm guessing it must be maybe 2-3 feet tall? Doesn't look hairy either, so I think we can rule out skunk ape. But whatever it is, it has one of Duke's chickens. It looks like it's headed north. Let's go after it. You follow Stella as she sprints into the unknown, Gretchen excitedly pulling you along by her leash. Gretchen. Stella, my darling companion, are you all right? Stella. Oof. You stare silently as Stella dusts herself off. Stella. I'm all right. I just tripped on something weird. Oh no, that poor thing. It must have been one of Duke's. Oh Jesus, it's still alive. You move towards Stella to get a closer look at the chicken. Stella. Don't let Gretchen too close. She'll try to take a bite if you don't stop her. Gretchen. I would never! Something about this bird doesn't smell right. You hold Gretchen's leash close to your chest. She squirms against her harness. Chicken. Why am I alive? Its poor little chicken eyes look up at you, glazed over but still rolling around in their sockets with unfortunate life. I feel like, you know, content warning, distressed animal, but that was probably pretty obvious from the moment I went to investigate the chicken, so. Investigate the wing. Looks like this is what Stella slipped on. The wing is barely still attached, but that seems to be the least of this chicken's concerns. Examine the growth. Good God, at first you thought it might have been a tumor, but this is something else. The skin is stretched taut, the growth pulsing beneath. Having investigated to your heart's content, you turn away to give Stella room to film. Stella. It seems we found one of Duke's chickens, folks, and she's not looking good. I'm hesitant to speculate, but she definitely seems to have some sort of growth under her skin. Could be a tumor, could be something else. Either way, I don't think there's much that can be done for her at this point. Jeez, I'm gonna have to put up some massive content warnings for this video. Hey, do you hear that? Gretchen. There's something out there all around us. I can smell it. There are so many of them. Duke. What in Sam Hill are you two doing out here? Didn't I tell you to... But Birdie? Oh, Birdie, what's wrong, darling? Good God. Did y'all see what did this to her? Stella. Duke, I'm so sorry. We were on the trail when we found her like this. Whatever did this to her, I think we can hear them in the trees. I'm trying to see if I can hear them yet. So I am hoping that this is audible. It's very faint, but you can actually hear the words they're saying when you have both Talk to Animals and Mystic. I found that out for the first time on the first run through of my Silent Max character, and it freaked me the heck out. Oh man, that was a lot. I remember that. So yes. Leave here and never return. Get away from here. This place is cursed. Okay, those are the only really distinct lines I can make out. This place is cursed, leave and never return. Those are the main gist of it, for sure. Anyway. Duke. Put that camera away, for God's sake, girl! I don't want to be in another one of your videos! No one needs to see me like this. No one needs to see Birdie like this. You wouldn't put her online, would you? Not when she's like this, all swollen and hurting. Stella. Duke, did you hear me? I think they're coming closer. Gretchen. You stay away from my Stella, you mongrels! Get away from here. Duke. Come out, you sons of bitches! Stella. Duke, don't shoot them! We have no idea what'll happen. Duke. You hear that, Stella? That ain't the sound of something peace-like. Whatever these things are, they'll pay for what they did to my girls. Come on, you, whatever your name is, grab that flashlight and help me line up a good shot. Gretchen. I can feel that white hot rage from earlier start to wash back over me. I'm going after them. As the creatures in the tree line grow louder and more numerous, Gretchen violently strains against her harness. Duke. Quick! They're closing in on us! Alright. I'm giving it a moment here, but Max has to make a snap-second decision, and if Max is having to make a snap-second decision, he's going for Gretchen. You dive forward and scoop Gretchen into your arms just before she manages to wriggle out of her harness. Your eyes fixate on the dark tree line over Duke's shoulder. Duke. God damn it! You hear a body hit the ground, and then quiet as the chaos fades and the sounds of nature creep back in. Alright, one of the biggest content warnings of the game in terms of visual gore is gonna come up. At some point, Stella turns on a flashlight, and there is going to be a visual of Duke's, like, we'll start at the feet, and then it will go up, and you will see his head after what was very visibly that shot. So it's pretty gruesome. Just want to content warn before we get there. You hear a body hit the ground, then quiet as the chaos fades and the sounds of nature creep back in. Stella. Gretchen? Max? Duke? Are you alright? No, okay, that sounds a little too pretentious for someone just died here. Say nothing. Gretchen. What happened? Did I lose myself again? I apologize for being so easily shaken up. I'll do better. Stella. Gretchen! Here, I'll take her. My poor little pup. Thanks for watching out for her. Duke? Are you okay? Oh, no. No, he is not. Stella. Oh my god. Oh my god! Duke, holy shit! What do we do now? What the hell are we supposed to do? You stand in stunned silence. You've seen dead people before, but never like this. And those things are still out there. Gretchen. What happened to Duke? Is something wrong with him? Why won't he get up? Stella. Yeah. This is a lot. We're in way over our heads. Let me just check the camera real quick. Christ, this footage is so dark and shaky. Ugh, I hate to say it, but people need to know what happened here, Max. Duke's family deserve closure. Other people deserve to know what's out there. We need more footage. Come on, let's go after them before we lose our chance. You silently nod as your eyes meet Stella's. This might be a bad idea, but it's yours and Stella's bad idea to make. Stella. It looks like Duke managed to tag one of them before he... You know. We should be able to follow that blood trail. Let's go while it's still fresh. As you and Stella push through the woods, the unearthly sounds once again surround you. You say nothing, continuing forward with a grim determination. Gretchen. I smell something terribly foul in the air. Stella. There's a clearing up ahead. Stella stops in her tracks a few feet ahead of you. Stella. Holy shit. I think I'm gonna be sick. The shrieks pull back into steady whispers as you and Stella stumble upon the putrid bodies of dozens of dead and dying animals. Sorry, I was trying to see if they said anything different here, but no. A sinking realization pulls at your gut. This is their nest, and you are surrounded. Gretchen. What is this horrible place? We need to get out of here! Stella. More of those swellings. All of the animals here have them. Or had them. Oh. Oh my gosh. Max. They want us to leave, Stella. We shouldn't be here. We shouldn't have seen any of this. Stella. Yeah, you're right. We have enough footage. Let's get the hell away from this nest before things get ugly. Just as you follow Stella in a mad dash through the woods, so too do the unearthly hollers and whispers of the nest. In the highest branches of the trees and down on the forest floor, they're all around you, casually keeping pace with your all-out sprint. Stella. We're almost there! As you and Stella reach the main road, the cries of the creatures fade back into the sounds of nature. Stella. It sounds like they've stopped following us. Gretchen. I certainly can't smell that stench anymore. Stella. I should get reception now that we're back on the main road. Let me find my phone so I can call the sheriff. You feel a buzz in your pocket. 6 missed calls from Tabitha and 13 text messages. Alright, well, I've decided in the past that Max is more comfortable texting than talking, although he probably uses primarily emojis. So, a quick text to say that he is okay seems reasonable. You text Tabitha back and let her know you're okay. Your message sits unread. You slide your phone back into your pocket. You can deal with Tabitha later. Stella. Alright, let's call the police. Stella pulls out her phone and dials. Stella. Hello? Earl? It's Stella Richmond. I'm up the mountain trail. Sorry. I'm up the mountain on the Askina Trail. Duke is dead, Earl. Shotgun. It happened right in front of us. There's something in the woods. You gotta hurry. Okay. Okay, yeah. Are they really gone? Yeah, I think we're okay, but hurry. Jesus, Earl, who's gonna tell Bo? I guess now we wait. It takes a little while, but eventually a patrol car arrives at the scene. Out of it walk 2 officers. Sheriff Hugby, a friendly, older man, and Deputy Franklin, a serious man wearing sunglasses despite it being the middle of the night. I'm sorry, I can't not. I know it's very serious in a lot of terrible stuff has just happened, but I, the player, I wear my sunglasses at night, etc. Okay. Stella. See? Right there. A thing jumps out of the woods, and then the shotgun goes off. Sheriff Earl. What in the Sam Hill? What is that? Some kind of Pillsbury Doughboy? Deputy Franklin. Could have been a naked maniac. As the video reveals the creature's nest, Franklin ever so slightly lowers his sunglasses. Deputy Franklin. Or a whole bunch of naked maniacs. Sheriff Earl. What the heck is that? Some sort of crop circle? Stella. They killed Duke. Deputy Franklin. Uh-huh. Now we're gonna have to confiscate this camera, Miss Richmond, if you don't mind. This is evidence. Stella. But okay. Let me just turn it off to save the battery. Here you go, Deputy Franklin. Deputy Franklin. We appreciate your compliance with the law. We'll get a team out in the morning to retrieve the body, but for now, Sheriff Hugby and I... Sheriff Earl. Please call me Earl. Deputy Franklin. Earl and I will escort you and... Who are you, exactly? Stella. That's Max. He came into town today for the funeral. Sheriff Earl. Max? As in... You say nothing. Sheriff Earl. You'll have to pardon my surprise. We just didn't think you'd show. Deputy Franklin. We'll escort you both back to town. If there's a naked maniac on the loose, it's best you don't walk back on your own. Stella. It wasn't a... Never mind. Why aren't you going out there tonight? There's a dead body in the woods. Those things out there could attack someone else. Sheriff Earl. Well, it ain't exactly like old Duke's going anywhere at this point. He'll still be out there in the morning. Deputy Franklin. We only have a skeleton crew at the moment. Sheriff Earl. Monday nights are Deputy Derrickson's bowling nights. Deputy Franklin. We'll be on alert for any more reports of naked maniacs, but retrieving Duke will just have to wait. Now, if you'll kindly step into the vehicle, we can return you safely to your home. Stella. Do we have to ride back with you? We can just walk. Those creatures left. We'll be fine. Deputy Franklin. I'm afraid I'm going to have to insist, for your own safety. Stella sighs. Okay, thank you. Sheriff Earl. You can ride up front with me, little lady. That is, if your mama permits. Gretchen. I certainly cannot turn down some extra pets and affection, especially after the ordeal we've all been through tonight. Stella. Sure, Earl. You can hold Gretchen on the way back to town. Deputy Franklin. You two stay out of trouble. We'll have this all sorted out in the morning. Just get a good night's sleep. And you, whatever your name was. You say nothing. Deputy Franklin. Sure. You're in town for the funeral? Good. Don't you go leaving before then. I imagine we'll need to ask you a few questions about everything you've seen tonight. Stella, keep an eye on him for us. Make sure he doesn't get into any more trouble. Y'all have a good night now. Sheriff Earl. Bye-bye, Gretchen, and y'all have a lovely evening. If any bugaboos give you trouble, you know how to get in touch. And here you are, back in town, away from the woods, with no one but Stella in sight. Stella. Holy shit. Stella. I can't believe they just implied that you're a suspect, even after we showed them all of that footage. Even after we found that nest. But it's okay. I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. Gretchen. Nor will I, though I have little understanding of police work. Stella. I was there. I filmed the whole thing. At the very least, it'll never hold up in court. And it won't get to that point either, because we're going to do a little investigating of our own. We've got to find out more about those things. If we can get clearer footage, or better yet, trap one of them, there's no way they can blame you for what happened. The library doesn't open for a while, but I've read every book on cryptids they have and never come across anything like this. There is someone in town who might have some useful information. My friend's mom. Her place isn't far. We should head over now before it gets any later. You silently follow Stella back to town. Because, yeah, no, Max is a person of extremely few words generally, and even fewer words when stressed. Stella. I hope she's still awake. Gretchen. There's something foul creeping up behind us. Alright, question mark, but we know it's Wayne. Max. Oh gosh, sorry, this voice is kind of hard to do. Especially late after I've been doing a lot of other voices. Stella. Jesus! You and Stella turn to see a shadowy figure staring at you from across the road. You didn't hear it approach. Welcome home! Mystical. Whoever this is, its presence has chilled you to your soul. Before you can respond, the door behind you swings open. An older woman stands in the entryway. Go home, Wayne. I can't help you tonight. You look back and the figure is already gone, disappeared into the shadows of the night. I'm sorry about that, Stella. Some people just can't be helped. What brings you out here so late? And who is this? Stella. Hi, Mrs. Forsyth. This is Max. Is it okay if we come in? Mystical. You and Mrs. Forsyth briefly lock eyes. So blinding and overpowering is her aura that just looking at her feels like staring directly into the sun. Her gaze pierces entirely through you, and in that moment you feel wholly known. And then the moment passes, and you see only the woman before you. Oh, I just realized when things are calmer, I can probably turn the volume back down. Mrs. Forsyth. Of course. You're in luck. I just put on water for hibiscus tea. And for goodness sake, you can call me Sybil. You're an adult now, after all. Welcome to my little nook. Gretchen. This place always has the loveliest aromas. Sybil. It's nice to finally meet you, Max. I was so sorry to hear about your mother. Vivian was such a lovely soul, and she's been sorely missed in the Holler. And now poor Pearl Ann is gone as well. Do let me know if there's anything you need while you're in town. Sybil reaches over and pats your hand delicately. Hers feels like soft parchment paper, dry but soothing. Sybil. Now, what's got you here so late, you two? You seem troubled. Stella. You know about weird stuff, right? Unexplainable stuff? Sybil. I'm not so sure I follow, dear. I know which oils to use for which aches. I know a bit about classical spiritualism. Just what sort of unexplainable things are you talking about? Stella. Duke was killed tonight by something in the woods. Sybil. Oh, my lord! Have you contacted the police? Stella. Yes, and they didn't take it very seriously. They're not even looking for the body until tomorrow. Those things out there, I don't even know how to describe them. Sybil. I can't say I know much about the local wildlife. My daughter has always had a brighter gift for nature than I. Stella. This wasn't the local wildlife, Mrs. Forsyth. Here, I can show you. Stella pulls a memory card out from her sleeve and pops it into her phone. Now, on the one hand, I was just thinking never mind. I was going to say, I don't know how many phones these days have memory card slots, but then I realized that's probably me talking because I haven't had a phone with a memory card slot for a while. But actually, no, normally they do. Or rather, many still do. In fact, Johnny confirms Galaxy S Series 1s still do, so that makes sense. So I had a moment where it seemed weird, but it's only because I've been on the Pixel series for quite a while, and they have not done expandable storage since, like, the original. The first one. Anyway, Stella. I wasn't about to just let the police hold on to this. At least, not before we had a chance to make a copy. You say nothing. Sybil. Silence. Sybil. Where was this? Stella. Up the mountain to the northwest. Sybil. Within the town limits? Stella. Yes. Sybil. I see. Is there a way to make the video bigger and louder if you can? Stella. I'd need to plug the memory card into a computer. I could go back and get mine. Sybil. No need. Kanika should still be awake. She can lend us hers. Gretchen. Kanika? Are we seeing Kanika? Sybil. You'd better come with, Stella. I'm sure she'll be more willing to help a friend than her nosy mother. Sybil. Kanika? Come on out. We could use a little help. Kanika. What, Mom? Oh, hey, Stella. And Gretchen, who's a good potato? Gretchen. Kanika, is it me? Am I the good potato? I most certainly hope I am. Johnny, fair enough. Took you a second to realize the whistling sound was coming from the game. Yeah, because Sybil put on a pot of tea. Kanika. And a stranger. What are you doing in my house? You're too tired to answer that question. Stella. This is Max. Kanika. Tabitha's cousin? Stella. Yep. Sybil. Sweetie, we were wondering if we could borrow your laptop. Stella and her friend have a video to show us. Stella. It's really important, Kanika. Kanika. Silence. Okay. My room's a mess. I'll just bring it out there. Stella. Heads up, Kanika. This is graphic. Duke got killed out in the woods tonight. It's on the recording. Kanika. Wait, are you serious? Duke's dead? Stella. We can watch this without you. Kanika. You know I have a harder stomach than any of our friends. I'm pressing play. Silence washes over the room as the video plays. Kanika. Stella, what the hell is this? Sybil. Silence. Gretchen. This is far beyond my ability to contribute. I'll leave thinking to you humans. Stella. I'm sorry either of you had to see this, but Max and I have no idea how to make heads or tails of it. Kanika. Stella, are you okay? Did you get hurt? Stella. I'm fine. Really, I'm okay. You remain silent. Kanika. Poor Duke. Poor Beau. Has anyone told him yet? Stella. We talked to the police. I hope they told Beau, but Earl and Deputy Franklin didn't seem to be in much of a hurry to do anything. Sybil. I'll call him later tonight. But for now, we have something far more serious to discuss. Mystical! Max. Whatever happened in the woods, we weren't supposed to see any of that. Sybil. You're not wrong. These things, my grandmother called them ditchlings. They are a terrible omen, a sign of great suffering and destruction to come. Kanika. Mom, come on, whatever's doing this is serious. Stop scaring Stella and Max with this taily-po crap. A man just died. Have some respect. Sybil. Kanika, sweetie, let your mother talk. The creatures themselves are harmless to people, despite that grisly scene in the woods. Stella. How can you say that? Duke is dead. Sybil. An unfortunate accident and nothing more. Just as birds flock before a storm, the ditchlings congregate where tragedy is soon to fall. To see one is to be cursed by fate. To see so many in one place is... Sybil holds her silence. Kanika. Jesus, Mom, they've clearly had a rough night. They don't need this... Stella. It's okay, Kanika. This is helpful. Kanika. Stella, whatever these things are, they aren't magic. Stella. We can't rule that out. Not after what we saw. But fine. Let's focus on what we know. Whatever they are, they're doing something to these animals. You saw that nest. What were those growths? talk to animals and mystic option. Yeah. Max. I have to agree with Sybil. I could clearly hear them telling us that this place is cursed, and to get out while we still can. Spooky stuff. Stella. Wait, are you serious? I couldn't make out anything. It was all just garbled whispering to me. Sybil. How interesting. Kanika. Are you sure you're not just subconsciously rewriting your memories to match my mom's theories? Even if we were to assume, for a moment, that you and my mom are right, I'd still want to know what they're doing in the woods. Maybe what we're seeing here is some sort of parasitic larval stage, part of their life cycle. But I don't want to jump to any conclusions about something this out there, not without doing some research or talking to a biologist. I'm sure there's a rational explanation that'll clear all of this up. Sybil. Silence. Oh dear, I'd forgotten entirely about the tea I'd put on. Let me fix you up a couple of cups. It'll help soothe your nerves. Stella. I don't know. It's getting late, and I should let Max get some rest. I ran him ragged today with all the hiking and running through the woods in terror. Thanks for everything, you two. Sybil. Let me get you some of my house-made peppermint tea to go. It really does wonders to soothe the soul. Kanika. Bye, Stella. I'll see you tomorrow, okay? And call me if you need to talk. Stella. Thanks, Kanika. I'll see ya. Kanika. Bye, Max. Sybil. It's excellent iced or warm, though with the nights getting chillier, warm will probably be best. Helps wake up the bones. Be careful out there, both of you. Sybil turns and closes the door behind her. Gretchen. What an unfortunately short... Wow, where is that even coming from? What an unfortunately short visit. Stella. Alrighty, let's head back home. My home, I mean. And here we are. You're welcome to stay the night if you want. And there is only one option here that doesn't actually require talking. And that is to silently nod. You silently nod. Stella. Cool. And to be fair, I actually think Max would probably be perfectly happy to not have to walk up the trail by himself alone at night. It doesn't take long for Stella to fix up the guest room for you. While it's certainly smaller than its counterpart at the estate, it's far better cared for. Gretchen. It's so exciting to have a guest. I can't remember the last time we had company. Stella. Make yourself at home. You collapse on your bed. Stella. Get some rest, Max. I'll see you in the morning. Gretchen. I'm on the verge of passing out myself. What an exciting if terrible day. From the comfort of Stella's guest bed, the events of the past evening seem like something that happened to someone else, though you can still clearly picture the terror you felt in those moments. For now, you're safe and you're warm. Eventually, the sun will rise and chase away the monsters and make them seem like nothing but bad dreams. Maybe tomorrow, if you're lucky, you'll wake up in the normal world and have a relaxing week in the mountains with a new friend. It's a nice thought, but deep down, you can't help but worry things will only get worse. From behind closed doors, you can faintly hear the sounds of quiet sobs. And that's the end of Chapter 1. Let us watch the little video. Hello, all of the many ditchlings in the woods. And the minor statue in front of the town hall. The town hall itself, which will become quite a bit more relevant in Chapter 3. I assume that's the library. So inside the town hall. But actually, you know, there's just a single table, so that might be inside someone's house. This is definitely Reese's basement room. Speaking of people who are sobbing in the night. And that must be Rosalina's room, because it has a telltale bloodstain. Foreshadowing. We have not dealt with the llamas? Alpacas? Whatever they are yet? But I assume we will in a future chapter. And whatever is in that burrow. Oh, yep, and this makes me think that that's probably Big Betty, and Big Betty's probably going to be relevant in some fashion. And then, of course, the old mine, which will become relevant in next chapter. Is this the estate? I don't think so. No, yes, I'm pretty sure this is the estate. Because that door... I'm pretty sure that door exists in the real world, and we're gonna see it eventually. Anyway, I usually just let that play quietly, but decided to give a blow-by-blow this time. So, that said, hopefully I will be able to pick up sometime next weekend. Let me just save this before I forget. In slot 2. So I'm hoping that I will be able to stream some point next weekend. I might be able to get back to the Sunday thing. So like I said at the beginning of the stream, the reason I decided to stream tonight is because I actually am not able to stream tomorrow. I'd forgotten. So next week I will either stream hopefully, yeah, it looks like for next weekend I should be able to do chapter 2 of this either Saturday night or Sunday afternoon. One of those two. I will maybe try to confirm in the Discord when it gets closer to that time. Johnny, I should be able to, I will be at your Sunday Scaries. I just won't have time before then to stream because I am doing multiple things before then, but they will all be finished by 10, but then you'll be streaming and I don't want to counter stream you, so I should still see you for Sunday Scaries, in fact. So yes, folks should check out Johnny One Take for Sunday Scaries tomorrow if you're looking for a spooky stream to watch tomorrow night. And for me, I should be streaming again on Monday for my usual Cinderella phenomenon. I missed last week because I was super tired again, but I'm gonna... there's no particular... I was super tired last weekend because I had a crazy long week, or some crazy long weekend, but this weekend I should be good, I think. Yes. No, you know what? I don't have a great excuse for missing last Monday. I just was super tired. But yes, I will be here for this Monday, and we're all good. And thank you, Johnny and Tapao and Puka, for hanging out. And thank you anyone else who might have been lurking, and thank you anyone who watches this later. I hope you enjoyed it. And I will see folks on Monday or next week or whenever you are able to watch me stream. Bye!